What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. This one wasn't a suggestion or anything, it was something that I thought of a while ago and was thinking, oh you know what, this might be a fun what if mini, but as I wrote it out more and more, I realized this would actually be pretty good as a 4-parter if anything. If you remember back to when I did What If Beerus Raised Vegeta, that was a 4-part series that aired throughout the course of a week, so I'm going to be doing the same thing here. For the next 4 days up until next Saturday, we'll be getting 4 parts of this brand new series, so you get the entire story within that week, no waiting. And I think the concept's pretty enjoyable, and it gets pretty crazy as it goes on. You might not think it would change much, but trust me. With the way I wrote this, it has some pretty stark changes. Anyways, let's begin discussing what would happen if Goku trained as a Kai. So the reason I thought this could start as a what if mini is because this is going to start after the Buu Saga. When I say Goku's training as a Kai, I mean he's training under Shin and Kibito. Everything in the story goes normally up until the Buu Saga. Afterwards, Shin and Kibito decided it might be a good idea to train with Goku. If not that, Goku would ask himself to train with them. Well, why would he want to train with them? Apparently training with the Z-Sword worked well with Gohan. Yeah, he knows Gohan had that ritual and all, but seeing Gohan train firsthand with the Z-Sword and hearing how much it helped him, maybe they could do something similar. They know the Z-Sword's broken and all, but Goku could definitely train on this planet. He fought Buu here too. It's pretty sturdy, so he could do some insane things. And with Shin and Kibito helping, especially with their magical abilities, who knows what he'll be capable of with the training here. So this isn't really hard to set up because Goku already knows the Kais. And in terms of getting to the planet, well, the Kais can teleport, Goku can teleport. Hell, you know what? Maybe one of the first things he learns is the Kai because it seems like a more efficient method of instant transmission. He doesn't have to locate any energies or anything, he can just teleport to wherever he wants. Yeah, he's definitely gonna want that. But as we continue with that kind of training, he realizes too, it's not just strength that he can pursue here, it's techniques. He can learn magic, the abilities that Kais have. It almost seems endless. So besides just pursuing new powers in general in terms of strength, he's also pursuing new powers in terms of magic. Because right now he knows that his ceiling is Super Saiyan 3. He doesn't know if he could perfect that at all, but even if he can't, well, he could focus on Super Saiyan 2 still and learn magic abilities on top of that. So even if he's not getting a new form or anything, he's still getting new powers. So it's pretty tame so far. But I am going to introduce one change. Something that realistically wouldn't happen, but in terms of the narrative, this is pretty important. Goku accidentally does discover a new form early on. Now, I know Supreme Kais aren't going to have the same sort of ki that Goku would get from training with Beerus and Whis, but stick with me on this one. Goku picks up on God Ki in this scenario. Again, not saying this is realistic, just doing this part for fun. Hell, it's not really a crazy explanation. He's training with gods, picks up on a different type of godly ki maybe, and on accident, when he tries to channel this different kind of power, it turns into something completely new, a form that he's never seen before, a power even far beyond Super Saiyan 3. Shin and Kibito are completely stunned by this. He's received a new power, but how? It's Super Saiyan God. Of course, they don't know what it is. Goku would probably even just refer to it as Super Saiyan 4 or something because he has no better idea. But really, it is Super Saiyan God. So now there's another question that I need to answer. What's been going on with everyone else? Is Goku the only one training here? Well, yeah. I don't see why Gohan or anyone else on Earth would come here. And as for Vegeta, he probably wouldn't really care to come here to train with them because, for one, Shin and Kibito were incredibly weak in comparison to them already, and two, he's not really interested in learning magic. He'd rather try and learn new Super Saiyan forms. Super Saiyan 3 seems kind of pointless to him too because he's already seen Goku use it and he knows the drawbacks of it, so he's been mostly focusing on Super Saiyan 2 while staying on Earth. And he's completely unaware of Goku unlocking a new form. Goku's gone on the sacred world of Kais, and he's not going to hear until he sees Goku again. And this is pretty far down the line in the time skip. At this point too, Beerus is about to wake up. And he gets some pretty good news once he wakes up. Of course he's going to be looking for a Super Saiyan God. And Whis has a pretty interesting discovery. He tells Beerus, there is a Saiyan training with the Kais right now. He seems pretty strong. He doesn't know if he's a Super Saiyan God or anything, but it's a Saiyan training with gods, maybe. It's not completely outlandish to think that maybe he's gotten access to some sort of godly power, maybe the one that Beerus was looking for. And if not, there's other Saiyans on Earth too. But Beerus doesn't care about that. Shin has a student who's a Saiyan? He's definitely going to be checking this out. Regardless of the Super Saiyan God existing or not, he wants to see this for himself, a Saiyan training under a Kai. He could be pretty powerful even if he doesn't have Super Saiyan God. So Beerus goes to the sacred world of Kais. By now, Goku's probably heard of Beerus from Shin and Kibito. And now seeing him here, he's kind of terrified. So this is the god of destruction. And besides being terrified, he's also pretty intrigued. He wants to fight this guy. If he's strong, that could make for a pretty interesting battle. And luckily for Goku, that's exactly what Beerus is here for. He wants to fight someone too. He wants a strong rival. He had a premonition of a Super Saiyan God. And this Saiyan, training under a Kai, is the closest thing he could think of. It sounds too good to be true, but it actually is true. They ask about Super Saiyan God, and Goku says he has no idea. But he did access a new form recently, one that he accessed through channeling godly power. Godly training was the same way Vegeta was able to access Super Saiyan God in the main story. But of course there he actually knew what Super Saiyan God was. For Goku, he doesn't know for sure, but when he hears Beerus mention this, he says that's what it's gotta be. He achieved this form but never really knew where it came from or what it was. And he decides to show it off. It's different from his other Super Saiyan forms. And once he transforms, it just confirms it for Beerus. Now, Goku knew it was strong and all, but to think this makes him a god somewhat? That's insane. But Beerus is even happier. This is exactly what he saw in his premonition. The power coming off Goku. It's divine. The form itself, it's so godly, for lack of a better word. Yeah, it's not an insane transformation physically, but that simplicity is exactly what he was looking for, the divinity within it. He could tell not just from the power that's coming off it, but from the way it looks too. It's the Super Saiyan God that he was dreaming of. And he tells Goku, if he's a Super Saiyan God, then Beerus wants to test out this power. And Goku's definitely not going to turn this down. You know how Goku is, and if he's already met the requirements for Super Saiyan God, he's definitely going to jump into this battle. There is no reason for him to not fight here. Shin and Kibito are even interested too. It could be a good test for their student. Gauging this brand new power against a god of destruction, as far as they know, there's no one to actually contend with Goku's power right now. Whatever that form was, once they discovered it, they didn't know if anyone would be able to match the power. And yeah, he's not going to be equal to Beerus, but it's better for him to fight with someone who's stronger than him than someone who's weaker than him. This way, Goku will get to test the form at 100% power. The fight begins, and the greatest part is right away, Goku's in Super Saiyan God. He doesn't need a ritual, he doesn't need to go through his other forms or anything, he just starts in Super Saiyan God. Right off the bat, it's an all-out battle. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention too, you might have noticed I've been saying Shin and Kibito a lot, even though they were fused at this point, but I'm gonna go say they defused earlier on, not for any specific reason, I'm just gonna be straight up here. It's just because there's not much art of Kibitoshin, and I'd rather just use Shin and Kibito. It doesn't matter anyways, so it changes nothing if I have them defuse earlier on. They did it originally, they're doing it here early, it helps me out. Come on, cut me some slack. We're having fun here. Okay, jokes and all that aside though, let's get back to the battle. Now with Goku having Super Saiyan God already, of course he's gonna be practiced with it unlike he was when he first fought with Beerus. Plus he's probably a bit stronger than normal because he's been training as a Super Saiyan God ever since he achieved it. But that doesn't mean he's gonna be a good match for Beerus. Well, Beerus is suppressed and he's having fun. But it's still a fraction of his power. It does make for a fun battle, and Beerus could definitely see Goku's potential. Hell, mid-battle, he probably would even have Whis heal Goku, just to see if he can go any more. But it seems Goku's at his limit right now. And he can't lie, he's a bit disappointed. Having dreamt of this Super Saiyan God, he expected a little bit more. But maybe he was expecting too much right away. This is the stepping stone of something great. This isn't the final result, it's the beginning of that. Goku can and will be his rival. It's just gonna take some time and effort to shape him up into being that rival. He's a Super Saiyan God, but he still needs to work more on it, and maybe he can even go beyond Super Saiyan God. This ceiling, this limit of his, it could be broken. Beerus recognizes the potential, and knows that Goku will be the person to rival him in the future. And that's exactly why he offers for Goku to train under him and Whis. Mainly Whis obviously, but they'll be on Beerus' planet. He did have fun in the battle even though he had to suppress himself a lot. And he wonders how truly strong Goku can get if they kept training him. Especially proper godly training. No offense to Shin and Kibito, but there's only so much Goku can do here. And he has learned enough magical abilities from them. Shin and Kibito at first are a bit offended by Beerus saying this, but he is right. Goku has kinda hit a plateau under them. Yeah, he learned a bunch of magic, and he did have Super Saiyan God, but what's good with that if he can't actually use the form to its fullest? When he's training with Shin and Kibito, there wasn't really much they could teach him with that form. They knew nothing about it, and in terms of their strength, it's not like they could really train with him a lot with sparring or whatever. Even if they remained fused with Kibitoshin, it wouldn't have been enough. But this could be a really good next step if he trains with someone stronger than him, especially if it's someone like Whis. And in all honesty, they're not really cut out for this kind of stuff. Yeah, him training under them was effective, but it would be much better if he trained under Whis, someone who's actually experienced in training people. He did teach Beerus after all. And besides the fact that he's basically the strongest thing in this universe being an angel, he's a pretty good teacher too. There's not too much debate over it, and everyone pretty much agrees that it would be great for Goku to train with them. And to be fair, they kinda owe Beerus for it. Apparently Goku was responsible for breaking the Z-Sword, at least partially. Since he, Gohan, and Shin freed Elder Kai, at least make it up to Beerus. Training begins on Beerus' planet. Goku immediately starts making great progress, but he wonders, how is everything going back on Earth? Obviously he's been going back and forth and all, but ever since he unlocked Super Saiyan God a few months ago, he's just been kinda gone. And no one really knew why he was there for so long and didn't come back. He's been trying to get a better grasp on that power, and he should probably go back and tell them about it. Oh yeah, Beerus remembers that Whis mentioned that there were some people there, some other Saiyans too, that are probably pretty strong. And he asks, are any of them Super Saiyan gods? Goku says no, he's way beyond any of them in terms of strength. Well, Vegeta and Gohan were pretty strong, but they both had their different kinds of power. Gohan had the ultimate form, and Vegeta had Super Saiyan 2, which was impressive at the time, but now, it's not even Goku's second strongest form. Wait a second, Super Saiyan 2. That intrigues Beerus. So, he found out ways to upgrade his original Super Saiyan form. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He even has a Super Saiyan 3. And that gets Beerus thinking, well, if he was able to upgrade his past Super Saiyan forms, why not upgrade this one too? And Goku says he was never too sure about it. This form felt so different from the other ones. This wasn't an evolution of those past forms, it felt like a completely new branch of power. But maybe he could upgrade it somehow. But that also gives Whis another idea too. Well, if Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God are completely separate powers, could they combine them somehow? Like imagine, a Super Saiyan God harnessing the power of a Super Saiyan. It sounds crazy at first, but the more they think about it, the more they realize, maybe it could work. Months and months pass. On Earth, everyone is wondering where Goku is. He would pop in occasionally, explaining what he's up to, but they have no clue what a God of Destruction is and why he's training there. They just hope he's okay. It's a good thing he can Kai and just teleport there whenever the hell he wants. Giving everyone updates, seeing his family and all, because he's just been gone for so long at this point. He almost feels obligated to visit. And this is where Vegeta hears about his new power. Wait, he's training under Beerus, the God of Destruction? Oh yeah, and he's actually unlocked a few new powers. He shows off Super Saiyan Blue. That's right, by this point, he's actually accessed Super Saiyan Blue as well. And Vegeta has no idea what to think of this. Why is he blue now? Goku explains what the form is, and Vegeta has no idea of what to think. This whole time, Goku got that far ahead. He wants to get this form now. But there's an issue. Beerus doesn't care for Vegeta being on that planet. Vegeta is so far behind Goku that there's no point in bringing him there. If anything, having Vegeta there would just hold Goku back because Whis would have to train him right from step 1, actually attaining Super Saiyan God. So now that leaves Vegeta in a weird position. He watches, more motivated than before. He's so far behind now and he has no idea of how he's going to catch up with Kakarot. And with Beerus not taking an interest in him, and without any access to godly ki or anything, Vegeta needs a new path to power. He decides, he's going to go in the Room of Spirit and Time, training alone for however long he can. And you know what? That form that he once thought was useless, Super Saiyan 3, maybe he could even train for that. Because he has no idea of what else to do, he's going to continue upgrading Super Saiyan. Hell, you know what? Even with the flaws of Super Saiyan 3, he'll perfect that. He'll get rid of those flaws, go beyond Super Saiyan 3. If he can't achieve these godly forms, he'll achieve something of his own. At this rate, he doesn't even know if he'll be able to catch up to Goku. So instead, he's going to go down his own path. Who knows what he'll discover? Vegeta's rigorous training begins, with him more motivated than ever to get stronger. While Goku trains on Beerus' planet, Vegeta begins abusing the Room of Spirit and Time. Vegeta continues his training in the Room of Spirit and Time. At some point, he does get Super Saiyan 3. Initially, he didn't want to work towards this. He saw it as kind of useless given all the drawbacks with it. But here, he has no other choice. It's really the only path he can go down. Maybe if he utilized this enough, he could find a way around all those drawbacks. Maybe Kakarot just didn't work with it enough. If he uses it, maybe he could use it differently. And the drawbacks are immediately apparent. But the thing is, Vegeta's going in knowing about these drawbacks. Goku didn't know until he fought Buu while alive. But Vegeta knows what to expect, and he's trying to figure out ways around it. Keep the ki from leaking out of him, and try and power up Super Saiyan 3 even further. It's tough, but with him training in the Room of Spirit and Time, he knows he can ascend it. He abuses this room, using it as much as he can, and at some point, he actually is able to master Super Saiyan 3. Now, it's not a huge development. I mean, Super Saiyan 3 is great and all, but compared to what Goku has, it's not really too impressive. But the fact that he worked around those issues with it, it's huge. It tells him that he can go further. That wasn't the limit of their power. And who knows, he could probably go beyond Super Saiyan 3. It's not like he was aiming to get this form from the get-go. But now he's more motivated than ever. He could use it to go further, even further beyond. And instead, he decides to turn to someone else. He has a new training partner now, Piccolo. He would train with someone like Gohan, but Gohan's not too interested in training at the moment. Piccolo's probably the next best option. He's a very smart guy, and even though he's not the strongest person on Earth, he still is decently powerful and could make a great training partner. And maybe if the two of them butt heads, they could actually figure out a way to perfect Super Saiyan 3 even further. If that's even possible. Maybe ascend it somehow. Vegeta's knowledge of being a Saiyan and Piccolo's knowledge of just being a fighter in general. Two minds are better than one, and Piccolo knows it's just to help Vegeta, but he doesn't mind, he's got nothing better going on. And it will help him grow stronger in the process. Eventually though, Earth comes under attack. Frieza arrives, having been revived and all, and even getting his golden form. And Vegeta takes this as an opportunity. He wants to use this battle against Frieza to test his own power. And with him showing off Super Saiyan 3, of course this leaves Frieza stunned. But he gets over it soon enough because he realizes that once he transforms into Golden, Super Saiyan 3 is really nothing to him. And Vegeta realizes how far behind he truly is. Thankfully, Goku's able to show up in the nick of time. He's been tracking what's been going on Earth, sensing this battle and all. And he did want to jump in, but he also wanted to let Vegeta have a crack at it. But now, seeing how bad this is, he uses the Kai to get there instantly, and before Frieza could do any more damage, he immediately transforms into Super Saiyan Blue, getting ready to battle Frieza himself. And once again, Vegeta gets to see the sheer power that Goku has at the moment. And Goku is looking for a fun battle here, but he can't even have that. With him getting such a head start on godly powers, especially Super Saiyan Blue, he's already so far ahead of Frieza, and he knows Frieza's dangerous here. Had he not intervened, Frieza would have definitely blown up Earth. No one was going to be able to stop him, and he knows Frieza's going to try to do that. If he lets his guard down even for a moment, Frieza's going to slaughter everyone here. And it's not worth drawing out this battle because Frieza's not on Goku's level. He's so far ahead. Not just ahead of Vegeta, but everyone, Frieza too. So he ends the battle quickly, defeating Frieza with relative ease, and everyone watches on. All of whom are amazed at Goku's power, but especially Vegeta. Of course, he knew his Super Saiyan 3 was nothing compared to what Goku had, but he wonders if he'll ever be able to reach a level like that. He really would like to train with Godly Ki and all, but he has no method of obtaining it, and no way to train with it. He's just stuck here. And if anything, this performance would make Beerus even less likely to want to take Vegeta under his wing. If he couldn't even defeat Frieza, he's not going to really make a great rival. Vegeta goes back to square one, trying to think of new ways to get power. And it's not just Piccolo training with him either. Now, Gohan joins. After Resurrection F, Gohan would still get that motivation here. In the main story, that's what happened. He started training again after this, and here, well, if he's going to be training with Piccolo, he's training with Vegeta too. So there's more changes here because now Vegeta has an extra training partner. And Gohan's curious to see how far Vegeta will go in terms of strength. He's been acting very motivated recently, and it's kind of rubbing off on him. Gohan wants to achieve that ultimate power again. He's been slacking in training and doesn't have access to it right now. But thanks to this, he's back in action. Although Vegeta's looking for something much different. He even suggests Vegeta could just go get the ritual done, but no, he doesn't want that. He needs to achieve power in another way, his own way. He'll evolve as a Saiyan, and then it hits him. A Saiyan. He's been going about it all wrong. So apparently from what Goku's been telling him, that blue form, that blue-haired one that he has, it's actually a combination of two other ones, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan. So what if Vegeta were to combine Super Saiyan with something else? The question is, what else would he combine it with? There is one other form that he could get access to, one that he hasn't used in a while, but maybe could work here. Great Ape. Combine Super Saiyan with that form, and who knows what he could do with it. And, hypothetically, if this does work, he can combine Super Saiyan 2 with it, and then even Super Saiyan 3. By consulting Bulma, he's able to find a way to actually get this form once again. It's all in the Bloods waves. And she'd definitely be able to make a machine to actually do this. It's basically like what happened in GT. Except here, Vegeta doesn't know of Super Saiyan 4. He just theorizes that it could be possible. More time passes. Eventually, we get to the Universe 6 tournament. The roster's going to be pretty much the same for the team. I feel like Monaka's still going to be there because Goku's the only one on Beerus' planet, so Monaka would be a good motivator for Goku. But yeah, the team's the same except for the fact that Goku and Vegeta are at different strengths than they are in the main story. And the first fights are going to go pretty much the same too. Goku versus Frost ends up with Goku being eliminated. Same with Piccolo too. The arc starts out pretty normally, but once Vegeta's up in the ring, this is where things start to change. Frost is the perfect opponent for Vegeta. He's more than ready to show off his new power against him. He's Universe 6's Frieza. There's no better opponent for him to fight against. And Frost wonders why he's being so cocky. Isn't he less strong than the other Saiyan? Well, Vegeta's unlocked a new form of strength. He's been working on this for a while, and he can actually use it at will now. At first, he had to rely on a machine for it, but here, he's able to utilize this power whenever he needs it. And he's been itching to fight someone with it. Frost will be the first to be actually defeated by it. But there is another thing he wants to note. This isn't the peak of his power. Of course, he knows it's not as impressive as something like Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, but it's still impressive because it's a new evolution in Saiyan power. But it's not the end of his evolutions. It's actually the beginning of a brand new path. He transformed, showing off this new power called Super Saiyan 4, a combination of the power of Great Ape and Super Saiyan. And I know what you're probably thinking. You've done this a lot before, Vegeta getting Super Saiyan 4, and then probably getting Limit Breaker later on. No, I'm doing something different here. Like I mentioned, this is only the beginning for Vegeta, not a new ceiling. Vegeta's been theorizing. Maybe he can go beyond Super Saiyan 4. I mean, if it's just the power of Great Ape and Super Saiyan, who's to say he can't combine Super Saiyan 2 with that, or Super Saiyan 3 for that fact? It is a stepping stone. Next, he could probably get something like Super Saiyan 5 or 6. As crazy as it sounds, it seems possible for him. And that's what he's pursuing at the moment. But he doesn't really need those against Frost. He shows off Super Saiyan 4, and it's more than enough to actually defeat him, making Vegeta pretty happy. It's a great way to gauge new strength, and having victory over Universe 6's Frieza, it's definitely good for him. And while he does have this victory, he ends up making it to Hit, but Hit is able to defeat Vegeta pretty easily. Not really unexpected, but Goku's up next. Once again, because he was eliminated unfairly. And just like Vegeta had the perfect opportunity to show off a new power, Goku does too. He's been training beforehand in the Room of Spirit and Time. Now he realizes, though, he might have been going about it all wrong. What Vegeta was saying with his Super Saiyan 4 form, he could have been doing that too. And he's definitely going to keep that in mind for later. Maybe he can evolve Super Saiyan Blue somehow, beyond where it is at the moment. But he does have one other thing up his sleeve, something that he's been working on. And it's why he thinks he's been going about it all wrong. It's something that'll give him a huge increase in power. And he's more practiced with it here, so it's not as risky. It's Blue Kaioken. He shows that off against Hit, being able to have a fun fight for once. And also glad that it's working pretty well here. This is the first real-world test of it. He's only really used it in training before, and he's kept it kind of a secret. Beerus is elated to see it too, but also kind of mad that Goku didn't show him sooner. Although he was working on it in the Room of Spirit and Time, which did go into alone because Vegeta wouldn't really have been much help to him. But it turns out Vegeta was actually a huge help, because it gets Goku to realize, yeah, Blue Kaioken is cool and all, but maybe he can do something different, evolve Super Saiyan Blue somehow, just like they did with normal Super Saiyan. He's definitely going to keep that in mind going forward, and it's probably going to switch up his training regimen a bit. Either way though, there's a couple things they're glad about. For one, they won the tournament and Earth is going to remain in Universe 7. Also, they all had fun. It was a good test of their powers. And both Goku and Vegeta got to show off their new strength. And it got both of them to realize different things. As for Goku, he knows he's going to go down a different path of power now. He's going to try and find ways to evolve Super Saiyan Blue beyond where it is now. And not by using Kaioken, like the actual form itself. He's going to upgrade that form, instead of just stacking a different kind of power on top of it. And as for Vegeta, he's enlightened by something. He's been motivated throughout this entire series so far. Well, I say that, but it's only been 2 parts. But you get what I mean. He's in a pretty good spot now. And he recognizes Goku is much farther ahead. And yeah, he knows he's probably never going to be able to catch up to godly powers like that. But Vegeta has a new path to power, and that keeps him happy. It's his own unique thing. He's getting stronger. And again, it's stuff unique to him. Yeah, he might not be as strong as Kakarot, but he has his own stuff. And he's still getting stronger, improving himself continuously. He's having fun while doing it, being able to have good battles, and doing things that get to Saiyan blood pumping. The rivalry between the two still exists, but in a much different format. Instead of Vegeta just desperately trying to catch up to Goku, the two of them are actually intrigued by each other in a different way. Not that way. I mean, like, Goku's looking at Vegeta, seeing how he's evolving his power, and utilizing that with his own godly forms. And as for Vegeta, he acknowledges that he might not be able to catch up to Goku, but still, he acts as a great motivator for Vegeta, knowing that a Saiyan can achieve a power like that. And who knows, maybe he doesn't need Godly Ki. Maybe he will find a way to achieve a power like Goku's, but without godly powers. I mean, he didn't know Super Saiyan 4 existed until very recently. So who knows what else is out there? It's like he theorized, like a Super Saiyan 5, a Super Saiyan 6, maybe something that's not even Super Saiyan, just stuff beyond it. He's gonna keep on working towards this. Whatever different powers are out there, he's not too sure of what they are, but he's gonna work towards them. He'll figure them out eventually. And as for Goku, he's gonna do the same thing, except going on a much more godly path. Sadly, Beerus is still kind of uninterested in Vegeta, but Vegeta doesn't care anymore. This lights a fire under him. He's so fired up. Goku's evolving as a godly Saiyan, while Vegeta's just evolving as a regular Saiyan. Fitting for him too. He's embracing that Saiyan pride. But not in a malicious way, more so in the form of self-improvement. And it's also great because he's no longer obsessed with surpassing Kakarot. His Saiyan pride is driving him, but in a much different fashion than it was before. The question is though, where are each of them going to go in terms of strength? While Goku returns to Beerus' planet, trying to catch up to wherever Monaka is, Vegeta returns to training with Gohan and Piccolo. This has been really beneficial for him so far. Gohan's actually a great opponent in terms of strength. The two of them can spar together a lot, and it does help Gohan as he tries to unlock Ultimate again. And Piccolo's intellect is insanely helpful too. So not only are his two training partners pretty strong, but their intellect helps Vegeta get further as well. Something that really shouldn't be overlooked, given the fact that it's what helped him get here in the first place. And actually, Gohan's a bit interested in Super Saiyan 4, but he sees how rigorous Vegeta's training is and he doesn't really want to go with that. Ultimate is good enough for him, he just wants to reawaken that, and once he gets that, he'll be content. And actually, having Gohan here is a good motivator for Vegeta. He knows how high Gohan's potential is, and he saw the strength of Ultimate beforehand. Once again, he has a new person to motivate him, but he's not going to be obsessive about it, desperately trying to surpass people just for his own ego. He's just going to keep improving himself. He knows Saiyan strength is limitless, and he's going to utilize that to his advantage. It's kind of funny too, because the scenario started out focusing on Goku, but there's a huge focus on Vegeta now too. Where's that going to carry us going forward? With Goku having trained as a Kai and all, that is going to cause some issues. So obviously the Universe X tournament is still going to be on GodTube, meaning Zamasu is still going to come across it. But something really infuriates him here, the fact that the Kais are actively training Goku. So normally he was pissed off regardless, but here, they're condoning it. The Kais, they're actually letting a mortal become one of them basically. He watches Goku utilizing their magic, his magic, the abilities of a Kai. Why does a mortal have those? Why is he training under them? Of course, now he's training under a god of destruction and an angel, which is still infuriating, but not as much as this. Goku's not just making a mockery of godly powers, he's being a mockery of a god in general. It's like he's trying to be a fake Kai or something. So that same anger that he had towards Goku is still there, but even more so now. And there's also the fact that by now, Zamasu probably already knew about Goku. If Goku were training under the Kais, there's definitely a chance that Zamasu would have heard about this. Especially considering the fact that in the manga we see Zamasu training with Kibito at one point. Who's to say he wouldn't know about Goku? Probably not having trained with him, but knowing about him. And now, seeing this on display, he is livid beyond belief. He's gonna enact the Zero Mortals plan. That inferior mortal shouldn't be playing Kai. He doesn't live up to Kai standards. He's not even a Kai. He's just training under them and stealing their techniques and magic. Stealing their divinity. So he goes on his quest to steal Goku's body. At least another timeline version of Zamasu. Even though Zamasu's motivation is a bit different, it still ends up pretty much the same because he's gonna be stealing Goku's body regardless. Meaning all the stuff in Trunks' timeline goes the same as well. Trunks shows up in the past, warning everyone of this threat, and mainly try to seek help for his timeline. Goku Black even follows him back here, and Vegeta decides he's gonna face Goku Black. He'll gauge this guy's strength, and it should be easy to defeat him, because Vegeta could definitely tell, this guy is not Goku. He's some sort of imposter. There's no way he has the same power as Goku. The two of them battle, and it's actually pretty surprising for Goku to watch this fight. Vegeta's continuously growing stronger and stronger. Granted, they don't know the full extent of Goku Black's strength, but he's fighting pretty evenly with him. Although at one point, Vegeta has to use Super Saiyan forms, going even to Super Saiyan 3. But before he's about to pull out Super Saiyan 4, it's already too late. They wasted too much time, and Goku Black is now being pulled back into a portal. Although this is kind of a good thing too, because he didn't take too much damage, meaning he's not going to heal a bunch. He didn't get a lot of experience from this battle, so he won't grow too quickly. So even though Vegeta accomplished basically nothing, it's still good because they got to gauge Goku Black's strength, and they're not giving him extra power by having him fight Goku. Although Goku Black is a bit disappointed, he had to fight the inferior Saiyan. He wanted to fight Goku himself. But they'll fight soon enough. And Vegeta's a bit pissed. He could have used his full power, but he was too focused on gauging his strength. Whatever, he won't make the same mistake next time. When they see Goku Black again, Vegeta's using his full power, and he's gonna end it right away. Trunks is amazed to hear all the developments back here. Goku's got some new godly forms and he's been training under Kais. Oh, that could be really helpful. His abilities seem pretty strong. Besides his access to magic, which makes for interesting things in battle, there's also certain aspects of that magic that could really help. He actually has some limited healing abilities too, something that even Trunks got but wasn't aware of until the manga showed it. And there's another thing that Goku notes here. He saw something strange about that other Goku. The ki that he sensed from him, it felt oddly familiar. And he even brings it up to Beerus and Whis. Did they notice he was wearing a Patara earring and a time ring? These are things that Goku would probably even know about here. And that gives him a huge clue as to who Goku Black is. He has some sort of relation to the Kais. Although that does kind of muddy the water a bit too, because Goku has that relation here too. What if it truly is just a Goku from another timeline that became evil somehow? I mean, that would explain the time ring. He came from another timeline, and he's still training as a Kai there. This hint seems helpful at first, but really, it just makes it a little bit more confusing. Because it makes it seem more like Goku, if anything. But that still doesn't explain why his ki felt like that. It felt like it was different somehow. Goku says something is still off, and says it probably wasn't him. Even if he were using Kai tools like that doesn't mean it's him. And the fact that he didn't even transform. Like against Vegeta, once he was Super Saiyan 3, Goku Black was losing. Why didn't he go Super Saiyan? Or anything else for that matter. As the three of them discuss, they eventually land on Zamasu. They're gonna check it out, and Goku's coming along with them. Meanwhile, Vegeta's gonna be training with Trunks a bit. And here he shows Trunks his newest power, Super Saiyan 4. Actually, this is his second newest power. He's working towards something else right now. He hasn't really gotten a hold of it yet, but he's on the cusp of it. And Trunks is amazed. He didn't even know a form beyond this existed. He knew about Super Saiyan 2 obviously, but Super Saiyan 3 and 4? Plus all those godly forms that Goku had. Why doesn't Vegeta have those forms? Well, he explains. Beerus clearly doesn't appreciate Vegeta enough. But that's where he's gonna prove them wrong. His next evolution in power is gonna be something truly great. And even then, he won't end there. He is tempted to teach Trunks this form too, but he's not too sure. Even if they use the Room of Spirit in time, it might not work. It took so much hard work for Vegeta to get in this scenario. And even though a day in the Room of Spirit in time is a year in there, he thinks they might need a couple days, and instead they want to get back to the future as soon as possible. He doesn't even know if it would be possible for Trunks either. Vegeta's the only one with Super Saiyan 4 here, so he doesn't even know if anyone else would be able to achieve it, especially someone like Trunks who was born without a tail. And yeah, they could try it out, but he doesn't want to waste the effort. But Trunks says he's willing to take that risk. They do have a few days, maybe they can make it work. And who knows, Trunks as a hybrid Saiyan, he could grow incredibly fast. And this training would give Vegeta an opportunity to get his newer form. It takes some convincing, but Vegeta ends up taking Trunks to the Room of Spirit in time. Dende's used to it at this point. Vegeta's basically a regular up there. Although he is using it a bit too much. Vegeta's spent a couple days in there so far, probably like a week total by now. That's 7 years of Vegeta's life that he's not getting back. So even though he was abusing the room before, he can't use it too much later because he's just gonna age too quickly. Now, he still has a lot of time. It's not like he's close to getting old or anything, it's just, there's gonna be a certain point where it wouldn't be smart to use it anymore because he's just wasting his time on the outside by training in there. But a day with Trunks in there, that's not too bad. The Blitz Wave machine is taken in too, and surprisingly, it works at transforming Trunks into a Grade 8. So while Goku, Beerus, and Whis are trying to find out what Zamasu's up to, these two are training here. More time passes, and the group comes together once again. The time machine is fixed, and now, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks can head to the future. Goku's still a bit suspicious about Zamasu, but he doesn't know how he's gonna tie here. It looks like they're gonna figure it out soon. And as for Vegeta and Trunks, they feel confident in fighting Goku Black. They do have Goku just in case, but now, with their training, they're just very confident. Once they arrive in the future, they're greeted by Goku Black. And this time, Trunks is ready to fight him. Goku Black hasn't gotten much stronger, if at all, here. He barely got injured in his battle with Vegeta, and he didn't really get too much experience from the fight because it was so short. Maybe he grew a little bit, but it's not a significant amount. But Trunks, he grew significantly, and he shows off his new power. Thankfully, he was able to access this pretty quickly too, just like he theorized, and Vegeta's glad that it worked out this way, as Trunks shows off Super Saiyan 4. And Goku's impressed, so that's what they've been doing while they were dealing with Zamasu. Pretty smart. And Goku Black and Trunks start fighting. Goku Black still doesn't have a good grasp on using Goku's body either. And without that valuable experience of fighting Goku, he actually wouldn't be able to unlock Super Saiyan Rosé just yet. So he's still fighting in base, and that doesn't mean he's weak, no. In his base, he's still incredibly powerful. But against Super Saiyan 4 Trunks, I feel like Trunks would definitely have the advantage here. And Trunks isn't one to waste an opportunity like this. With an advantage like that, well, he's obviously gonna go all out right away. And he gets ready for the kill, but before he's gonna land the finishing blow, Zamasu appears. Goku Black's injured, pretty badly in fact. And Zamasu tries to heal him as quickly as possible. And Goku perks up. He knew it, Zamasu is involved.
While he's trying to heal Goku Black, Zamasu is then tackled by Goku, trying to get him away so he can't heal Goku Black anymore. And it should be easy to kill Zamasu. Goku powers up into blue just to make sure the job is finished. This is overkill, but he needs to end this as quick as possible. And he completely destroys Zamasu with a Kamehameha, although Zamasu regenerates soon after. And even though Goku Black didn't get fully healed, he did get partially healed. He stands up. It's just enough. And utilizing his anger too, he finally sees now a way to transform. He powers up and goes Super Saiyan. Not Rose, just normal Super Saiyan. This is great for him, but a bit underwhelming too. He still wants to get more, but this is fine. This will be more than enough to face Trunks. Goku tells him he's going to try and figure out what's up with Zamasu, and he'll hold him off. They can't let the two of them be together because if that happens, well, Goku Black's just going to get stronger and stronger. Goku has seen how fast he's grown so far, and he knows it would be dangerous for Goku Black to have a Kai on his side. But as Zamasu fights Goku, Goku also figures out more about the Zero Mortals plan and who Goku Black really is. Zamasu tells Goku he's no Kai. He should stop pretending he is. And Goku says he was never pretending. He was just using their training for himself. He wasn't making a mockery of the Kais. If anything, he admired them. That's why he trained under the two of them in his universe. And Zamasu says it doesn't matter. A mortal shouldn't be using powers like that. But Goku challenges what Zamasu's saying. He stole a mortal's body and he's now using it to terrorize this timeline. That's not something a Kai would do. From what Goku learned, the Kais are gods of creation. This isn't like them. Why is he destroying stuff? And Goku's confident that he could stop them. And Zamasu wonders how. Yeah, Goku Black might not be immortal, but look how strong he's growing. Soon enough, he's going to be too strong for them to defeat, especially with Zamasu around. And Zamasu's immortal. They're not going to be able to kill him. And Goku laughs a bit. Yeah, they won't be able to kill Zamasu, but Zamasu forgets. He trained under Kais. He knows their magic. And he's seen abilities that maybe Shin and Kibito wouldn't be able to pull off too well, but he definitely can with his great power. He doesn't need to kill Zamasu to defeat him. He knows other ways of defeating people. One of them being sealing. He's seen this before with King Piccolo, or at least heard about it. There was something called the Mafuba. It was something similar. And Kais have abilities to seal things too. It's exactly what happened with Moro way long ago. And Goku would probably think that's the best option here. If he can't kill Zamasu, just seal him away. And it's pretty simple for him given his great power and all. But while all this is going on, Goku Black is still an issue. Trunks keeps trying to fight him, but now with Super Saiyan, it's a little too much. But thankfully Trunks isn't alone. Vegeta steps in. He tells Trunks he's done enough. He's clearly at an unfair disadvantage. And Goku Black laughs. If Trunks couldn't do anything, what's Vegeta gonna do? And who knows, maybe if Vegeta fights him, Goku Black would just grow stronger. Maybe even getting a new form. He tells Goku Black to not underestimate it. With all the great training he's done, even with that extra year in the Room of Spirit and Time just now, Vegeta is so much stronger than Goku Black could ever expect. What, that primitive ape form that he has? The same one Trunks is just using? That's gonna do nothing. Vegeta says, yeah, he could use that, but he has something else in mind. Something that'll definitely finish this quickly. He powers up into Super Saiyan 4, but continues powering up once he's transformed into it. And Trunks knows what this is. He's seen it already. Goku arrives back at the area too, having successfully sealed Zamasu away, but he still wants to watch what's going on with this fight. Intrigued at what power Vegeta has now, he tells them, initially he combined the power of a great ape with Super Saiyan. This time, he's doing it with Super Saiyan 2. And if that were called Super Saiyan 4, naturally, he's gonna call this new form Super Saiyan 5. Now, it's not gonna be what you're thinking. Just like how Super Saiyan 2 isn't a stark change from Super Saiyan 1 in terms of how it looks, Super Saiyan 5 in this scenario is gonna be a bit more grounded. It is just Super Saiyan 2 with Great Ape after all. At least my version of it. Vegeta has a slightly different tint to his fur, his hair is a bit spikier too like what Super Saiyan 2 does, and sparks of fierce electricity surround him. Let's make them greenish too, inspired by the Wrathful form. Goku Black doesn't even know how to react because just as quickly as Vegeta transforms, he already appears right in front of Goku Black. He's moving so quickly. And Vegeta wonders why he's so surprised. Did he really expect that stealing Goku's body would make it that easy? That he would be able to utilize all of Goku's powers effectively? No, he doesn't know how to use Saiyan cells. He doesn't know how to use that Saiyan body. Only Kakarot could. He's just an imposter. And it's funny, he called his form primitive, but now, Vegeta sees all that confidence in Goku Black's face disappear. His plan's falling apart. Zamasu's been defeated, and now Vegeta's gonna finish it by defeating Goku Black as quickly as possible. He's not gonna let him get the upper hand again. Quickly, he whips his hand back, charging up green ki as it swirls around him. He launches a final shine attack, completely wiping Goku Black away. And thus, Trunks' timeline is safe, and Trunks got stronger from it too, unlocking Super Saiyan 4 and getting some good training in the process. Goku got to utilize his magic in a combat setting, and as for Vegeta, he unlocked a brand new form of power. But is this the limit of his strength, or can he go beyond Super Saiyan 5? So what has Goku been up to? Well, with his training with Super Saiyan Blue, he's continuing to work on that actually. Yeah, he has focused on Blue Kaioken here and there, but more so, he's trying to improve Blue in any way possible. And in his efforts, he's actually kind of discovered something. He's discovered new ways to draw power out of Blue, a way to evolve it actually. In his mind, he thought maybe it's possible to combine the powers of Super Saiyan 2 with it. You know, like how Vegeta's doing with Super Saiyan 2 in Grade 8, but making Super Saiyan 5. Maybe he could do something like that here. But no, instead, something completely different happens. He doesn't get like Super Saiyan Blue 2 or whatever he was expecting. He gets something else. It's a higher version of Blue, but not in the way he expected. Goku was able to evolve Super Saiyan Blue, gaining a new form with some weird differences. He bulks up in size, his hair becomes a darker color, his eyes change and his aura changes too. It's too stark of a change for it to be just Super Saiyan 2 in Blue, so he just calls it Blue Evolution, which is what it is. That's right, with Goku going down a different path of training in this scenario, he actually unlocks Blue Evolution, which is going to be an interesting thing to use in the Tournament of Power, which is coming up next. Because that's still going to happen. Even though there's not two Zenos, at some point Zeno's going to be really bored, and having seen the Universe 6 tournament already, he's already been planning another tournament between the universes, and now's an opportune time for it. So, in terms of a team, well, it should be pretty obvious. It's going to be exactly the same as it was normally, even with Buu going to sleep and Frieza getting revived. Of course, the two huge differences here are Goku and Vegeta, although Piccolo and Gohan are a bit different too because they've been training with Vegeta. It's not too stark of a difference though. Either way, it's the same roster, the same people are on the team. And the Saiyans are particularly excited. This will be a great opportunity to test out their strength. And it's not just Goku and Vegeta either, because Gohan already has Ultimate back, so he got a head start on that too, at least. And with Frieza back here, of course that's going to be pretty interesting for Vegeta. Apparently Frieza's grown even stronger in Hell, getting a better control in his golden form. But Vegeta's confident. If Frieza does anything to screw with them, well, first of all, Kakarot's there. He could definitely defeat Frieza, but he even feels confident that he might be able to. He's not too sure, but that remains to be seen, depending on how strong Frieza truly is. So now, the Tournament of Power begins. So as we've discussed throughout the series, not only is Goku stronger physically, but his techniques are a lot better too, which will be really helpful here. It kinda sucks that they lost Buu and don't have him on the team because he's asleep, but they still do have Goku, who has a lot of similar powers to Buu. Remember, he did learn a lot of magic, especially some Kai abilities. He can create blocks of Kachin out of thin air. He has a much better form of teleportation, and he could utilize both forms during battle. But one of the biggest things is the fact that he could heal others. Of course, this doesn't work on himself, so that's really the only drawback, considering he is basically the strongest person on the team. But having somebody heal others on the team is huge. Yeah, they couldn't bring Senzu Beans, so that kind of stinks, but they have a guy that could heal others, so that kind of counteracts that, basically. Of course, it does take a lot of energy to heal people, so he can't just go around healing everyone at every moment. But if he uses this sparingly, it could be pretty helpful. Either way, though, the fights are a lot easier for him because he's so powerful at this point. And utilizing the magic could really help too. He could do things like paralyze people and use telekinesis to throw them off the ring. He could spawn blocks of Kachin to use as platforms. And having the Kai is huge. He doesn't need to lock onto anything, he just thinks of where to teleport and goes there, which will make it really easy for him to stay in the ring. But also, all this goes to his head and he thinks maybe it'll be a good idea to fight Jiren, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's definitely a good reason for him to go fight Jiren right now. There's nothing wrong with him being confident here. The battle between him and Jiren begins, and he even uses Blue Evolution, but Jiren's able to counteract it. And instead of using the Spirit Bomb, he just focuses on a lot of his magical powers. Using these abilities could probably help him against Jiren. He doesn't know for sure, but it's worth a shot. In Blue Evolution, it's incredibly helpful. The strength it grants him is huge. And there is another thing that he had in mind, but he's not too sure if it's going to work. But theoretically it should, and this would be the perfect place to test it out against Jiren. If he can do Blue Kaioken and he can do Blue Evolution, why not both? Blue Evolution Kaioken. It's pretty blinding. I mean, you've seen the aura of Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. I don't like it. It makes the user look incredibly blinding. They're so overexposed. So imagine what Goku would look like with Kaioken and Blue Evolution. Whatever, I'm going off on a tangent. Goku uses Kaioken Evolution Blue. You know what I mean. It's a mouthful, but he's using it and it's incredibly potent. But it's also incredibly draining. He still doesn't have a perfect grasp on Blue Evolution. And he could just use Kaioken with normal Blue and use Kaioken at a higher level, but with these two together, this is the highest multiplier of power that he has in general. And it actually lets him contend against Jiren. But this is a suppressed Jiren. This isn't Jiren at his full strength. He's showing off so little of his power that it's not even worth it. He thinks he should just end this fight right now. If this is all Goku can muster, well, there's no way he's gonna be able to defeat it. And Jiren's about to finish it and knock Goku out of the ring, but Goku teleports out of the way at the last moment, retreating from the battle, realizing that he's in over his head. But now he has to figure out a new solution. He looks around the ring, seeing what the rest of the team is doing. Well, they're all fighting as expected, although Vegeta's fighting pretty differently. At least from where he was normally. He doesn't have access to his god forms here. He's relying on Super Saiyan 5 mostly, and he's trying to see if he could break his limits in any other way. Like, would a Super Saiyan 6 be possible? He's still been trying it, combine the power of Super Saiyan 3 in Great Ape. But he's had very little success so far. And then it hits Goku. Well, if they're spending all this time combining their powers, why not combine their powers in a different way? They could do the fusion dance, fuse together and fight like that. But there's an issue. Vegeta doesn't know the fusion dance. And he said he's not going to even do that silly dance either way. If they attempted it without Vegeta practicing, they could screw it up and then they'll just be stuck as a failed fusion, so it wouldn't really be worth it. It sucks that they can't use Potara. I mean, it does seem kind of permanent too either way, so even if they did have that, it wouldn't really be great, but they could defuse later somehow. I mean, you saw Shin and Kibito do that when they went to Namek. At least this is what Goku thinks until they see Kefla fuse. Apparently, first of all, it's allowed, which is surprising because they're using items, but Zeno's fine with it. But more surprisingly, they hear in the stands, apparently this fusion isn't permanent because it's between mortals. This comes as a huge surprise to Shin and a huge surprise to Goku. Fusion isn't permanent with Potara? And if they could fuse, I mean, couldn't he and Vegeta fuse too? That wouldn't be against the rules, they should be able to do that. Although it means they do have one less fighter. But if they have Vegito here, that could be pretty helpful. The two of them fight Kefla together. With Kefla kind of amazed at Vegeta's power, Super Saiyan 5 seems awesome, so does Blue Evolution. She hopes she's gonna achieve that soon enough. But Vegeta says neither of that's happening. This came through their hard work and training. But maybe once they win and restore the other universes, yeah, they'll have a shot. Because that is the wish they have in mind. It's the best wish to do overall, restore the other universes. But it's a pointless wish if they're not gonna win here, so they're only focused on that. They're not gonna teach them to use this new form. Kefla's already strong enough as is, and with the two of them fighting together, it is a bit tough. Until they do receive their Potara earrings. It'll be a much better way to fight because it'll be more efficient and they can conserve more stamina. Vegito here would be so strong that they wouldn't have to use his full power while fighting. They just hope it'll be enough for Jiren. The two of them put on the earrings, fusing into Vegeta. Kefla can't even process what's happening. In base alone, Vegito's already moving so quickly that she can't even track him, and he knocks her out of the ring pretty quick too. And Vegito chuckles. It's good to be back, but it's time to make quick work of everyone else. Before he fights Jiren, he needs to clean out the rest of the ring. He powers up into Super Saiyan, and this gives him more than enough power. He dashes around, quickly knocking out a bunch of fighters. They're not even able to react because by the time Vegito's in front of them, it's already too late. And again, he's doing this as quick as possible to preserve energy, because the main course is Jiren. But Vegito's ready. With their two powers combined, he feels it'll be enough to defeat Jiren. First, Vegeta relies on his magical abilities. He throws his hands up in the air, and pieces of the ring start flying around. He uses them as blunt weapons against Jiren, even spawning more blocks of Kachin around him. Of course, Jiren's able to easily destroy everything, but these serve as distractions. Vegito quickly moves around too, between the blocks of Kachin, creating after images. With his quick movement, Jiren can even see where he's trying to strike. And in brief moments of attacking, he does power up into blue, still trying to conserve as much energy as possible. These hit and run tactics are actually working. Vegito pops in front of Jiren. He sticks both of his hands out trying to paralyze Jiren. It does kind of work, but Jiren's able to break free. Alright, Vegito's gonna need a little bit more power, and he has a pretty good idea of what to do. If he wants to land one final strike, there's a good idea in mind. The Goku side of him pulls out Blue Evolution, while the Vegeta side tries to use Super Saiyan 5. And with both of them working together, it creates something strange. A new form that can only be seen within this unique fusion. The power overflowing out of Vegito is incredible. He has no idea of what even to call this. Is this Super Saiyan Blue 5 Evolution? Even the name sounds ridiculous to him, just to showcase how strong it is. But this strength is fleeting. Now, he doesn't know if that he uses too much power, the fusion's gonna run out. But he does know using too much power at once will deplete his stamina pretty rapidly too. And even though this power is awesome, he can't even comprehend it, Vegito decides he'll just end this as quick as he can. Jiren even shows off some of his full power, but as he powers up, it's already too late. Vegito's at his full strength, and he tackles Jiren into the ground. Vegito doesn't even know his own power. He grabs Jiren's face and throws him into the ground, but the force of this is so powerful that it accidentally drives both of them through the ring. And Vegito panics for a second, almost limiting himself with how quick this is. But in the nick of time, he sticks out one of his hands, which turns into a spirit sword, skewering into the ring as he holds on. then using the Kai to teleport back onto the surface. Jiren uses random pieces of rubble to try and jump back up, but he can't do much because Vegito's already above him, charging a final Kamehameha. He launches the blast right through the ring, not only fully knocking Jiren into the void, but pretty much destroying every little piece that's left of it. The ring can't handle the power and it just explodes completely. And since he's worried about being eliminated, quickly he creates more blocks of Kashi to float on, basically creating his own ring. And with the immense amount of power they're using, Goku and Vegeta defuse. As they fall into the void, Goku uses the Kai to grab Vegeta, and they go on one of the blocks of Kachi. Remaining in the ring, looking around seeing nothing, Goku laughs. Looks like they overdid it a bit because by destroying the entire ring, all of their friends are out of the ring too. But that means they did it. They won. Goku is made MVP, and of course he wishes to restore all the other universes. What happens next following this? Well, luckily Vegeta picked up on God Ki through fusion. He finally has access to it, but he doesn't know what he's going to do. Although instead of pursuing Super Saiyan 6, even if that is possible, he now has a new goal in mind. That power that Vegeta was utilizing, he could realistically get it at this point. God Ki with Super Saiyan 4, with Super Saiyan 5, hell, Super Saiyan Blue and 5 together, just like Vegito did. Even though Vegeta was disadvantaged before, slowly, he might be able to get ahead of Goku. But Goku's not going to let it happen that easily. He still continues his training as well. The Broly movie happens, and I feel like this is going to go a little bit differently. With Goku individually being stronger, he's actually able to defeat Broly before he's able to go Super Saiyan. And before Paragus is able to kill Frieza, well, Vegeta is able to get in the way, killing Frieza, taking great pride in it. And he laughs as he does so. Not because he's trying to be maniacal or anything, but because Frieza was so cocky about it. He won against Vegeta before. And now, Vegeta's finally ahead of him. He defeated Frieza, getting the jump on him and defeating the Emperor. He wasn't going to let him get free again. But this means Paragus is still alive, and he, Broly, Chila, and Lemma go to Vampa. Weird, but Goku hopes to at least see them again. Broly seemed like he might be a good guy deep down. Paragus definitely isn't though. As for the Moro arc, well, that's basically avoided. Goku has magic, and just like Buu is able to counter Moro's powers, Goku will be able to counter those powers, defeating Moro there, making sure he's not a threat later on. And Beerus actually starts taking a little bit of an interest in Vegeta. At some point he does attain Super Saiyan God, but instead of trying to immediately jump to Blue, he's trying to combine it with his Super Saiyan 4 and 5 forms. And this is where Beerus takes an interest. Vegeta really does show some great potential, and maybe Beerus was doing the wrong thing by not acknowledging that. And it's not to say that Goku doesn't have great potential either. No, he's still growing incredibly powerful. And once again, Goku decides he might want to take inspiration from Vegeta. Vegeta's training was so unique in this scenario, getting Super Saiyan 4 and using that form to grow. And it is what influenced Goku to get Blue Evolution. So who knows? Maybe he should step backwards a bit and actually try and work on those forms. Because if he works on those, who knows what kind of powers he can attain. They got a taste of it by fusing into Vegeta. And now they're entering a new chapter of their lives. Now finally training alongside each other, with Vegeta starting to get on an even playing field. And this is where our story ends. So, what did you guys think about this scenario? If it ever continued, what would happen next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. It lets you know when I upload more videos like this one, and you'll be able to watch them as soon as they're uploaded. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.